Hello and welcome to Morris Park, and welcome to Euphorbia 101, my little series on Euphorbia, culture, and care. Today I'm going to do a little video on how to trim and prune your Euphorbias and kind of clean up some of the branches that are unwanted or dying or dead that are on your Euphorbias. What I have here today is my Euphorbia zigzag. This is a hybrid Euphorbia of Euphorbia pseudocactus and Euphorbia grandicornis. And you can see it's a pretty wicked unit here. It's got thorns everywhere on it and every which way. All the branches are doing very well on this. You see new growth in almost all of them, except this one. Now, if you look at this one as compared to some of the other ones, it's kind of yellowy. Also, you don't see any growth on the tips at all. There's no real, that red little tip or anything like you would see on these up here. You can see the growth coming out on all of them. Getting ready to put on a new section. This one here is getting ready to be shed, more or less. Now, when I say shed, branches on these guys will die and they'll just stay there for years until they just kind of fall off. We don't really want that. We want to try to keep the dead material away from these plants and keep them clean while we have them in cultivation, because you got a lot of dead material. One, it distracts from the look of the plant totally, and two, it can be a place to harbor insect pests and so forth. So what we're going to do, if I can get this turned around here, this is a pretty big guy. Seems like I've been dealing with the big guys lately. Now, let's see here. This branch goes all the way back in here. In fact, that's where it joins, is back in there. Now, I got a couple choices here. I'm going to push this back a little bit. I got a couple choices here. I can try to reach in with a pair of clippers, and that may be a bit difficult, trying to get into here. Or I can use this, and this is a serrated bread knife, is what this is. And it's got a nice round tip on it and everything, so you don't poke anything when you're trying to saw things off in there. And that's basically what you're going to have to do, is saw this branch off, because there's actual wood on the inside of this branch. A lot of these big Euphorbias are shrub and tree-like, and they do have actual wood in them like a shrub or a tree. So anyway, let me get this going here, and I'll get this prepared. Okay, so I've got my serrated knife here. You can see. A good idea, really, before we get started on that, is to take the knife and spray it down with a little alcohol. And get that wiped off. And that way it'll be nice and sterile and won't have any pathogens or anything like that on it. You can just use one of these little squirt bottles like this, and it usually works pretty good. Okay, on a lot of this stuff, you can either you can be a hands-on kind of guy like I am, just kind of grab onto the end of the branch, or you can use a good pair of gloves. You might want a pair of gloves because these are so thorny. Me, I'm a hands-on kind of guy, like I said in my video yesterday. And so I'm just going to kind of go in on this and see where I can cut this off. It's best to try to cut this off where it joins the plant and where it constricts down to the smallest. And at a node, so to speak. Cutting through pretty good. Getting down to that wood, though. Pretty tough. Even with a serrated blade, it's kind of tough to get through these woody pieces. Okay, I've got it parted away from the plant. Okay, now that I've got this cut here, I've got to try to figure a way to maneuver this out. It's pretty tight in there, and it may have to be taken off in pieces. So, I'm going to put this down because I'm going to need 2 hands for this, and see if I can slide this out. Let's say it took 2 hands to get this thing out of there. You see it's very thorny. If you wish, you can actually restart these. Just wait for that cut end to dry and you wash it off. Get all the sap off of there. And you let them dry and you can restart them. But they probably have to be restarted by the 2-step cutting method. And you can kind of go back in my videos there and look for the 2-step cutting method. And it shows you all how to do the 2-step on these types of Euphorbias. Anyhow, I'm going to wash off some more of this. Get that washed off. And then I'll show you on how to do another Euphorbia. This one's all nice and good and done yet. And I'll show you on another one. Now this is my Euphorbia Flanaganii. And it's just a little bit different than how you're going to deal with the branches on this one. Now down here, you can see right here, it's got one of these little yellowed looking branches. And when they're kind of yellow like that, you don't really have to cut them or trim them or anything like that. Just kind of pull to the side gently, and they come right off. Just like that. Now it's going to bleed a little bit, and you'll want to wash that off also. Okay, there's another one right next to it. It's right here. I think it can come off. Yep. And they come off very simply. And then you just take and wash that sap off. And I'm going to show you just one more here. There's so many of them, I can't show you just all of them. But this is my Euphorbia decarii, Spirosticha. And you notice it gets a lot of these little dead heads on here. And they're very simple to take care of. If they don't grow anymore, and they will terminate and not grow any more tops, all you have to do is kind of look down on them, see what's dead. And you can tell what's kind of dead. If the plant's dead all the way down, then you just trim it all the way down. If not, try to look for a little shoot to trim it above. But all you have to do to get rid of these little guys is snip that off. And of course, wash it off. Same process. Whoops. Just get off the cut little piece. Like I say, there's so many different ways to do Euphorbias. Say like this one, dead flower stalk on it. All you really got to do is pull it away, and it's fine. And that one didn't even bleed. It's good to keep these guys cleaned up, especially ones like this Flanaganii, because you can get pests and stuff to get up into those branches. And if they get really, really thick with the branches, it's kind of a good idea to just take a little pair of clippers and trim some of them off the bottom so you can see what's in there. Because sometimes mealybugs really like this stuff. Anyhow, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. I hope you enjoyed this video today on how to prune and kind of clean up your Euphorbias. It was just a little show of what to do. Remember, always wash your hands afterwards. Euphorbia sap is toxic. It can burn, blister. It is poisonous. Clean up afterwards. Clean up all your instruments, yourself. Take care and have a good day.